All right, Family Law back here, y'all. I want to give a quick update. I'm just doing it live, just ad hoc here, about the. That's an unfortunate story of a Kentucky judge that was assassinated in chambers. This is not something that happens. Lawyers get shot. That's not out of the realm of normality. I mean, that's happened, but a judge is not, especially not in the courthouse. So everybody's wanting to know why he did it, and now some things are coming to light. It may have included his daughter, the sheriff's daughter, which would, and then I'll break that down and also break down what he's I mean, he's going to jail. I mean, he's not skipping the jail part, but there are some defenses in Kentucky that he is eligible for, to at least lessen it to a manslaughter, something to that effect. Let's see what's going on. All right. I think y'all probably already know, but let's see. And yes, I'm still getting over this crap, so I'm sorry. I sound bad.
Healthcare CEO was gunned down on the streets of New York. The shooting that took our breath away was the killing of Judge Kevin Mullins right there in his own chambers. We know who fired those shots. It was on video right there. That was Sean Mickey Stines right there with the gun. He was the sheriff at that time of their rural Kentucky county. And he was also a close friend of the judge. And he's not a sheriff anymore. He's an inmate waiting for trial.
He's still sheriff,
like the CEO murder. The motive in the...
Guys, this is the smallest judge's chambers I have ever... That's a damn closet. Although I take that back. Yeah, I did... I really don't want to... I'm not going to say the county where I practiced. I've practiced in 3 states. I'm still licensed in Alabama, in good standing. I still do work there now. Mostly domestic. Well, all of it right now is domestic relations law, trying to help both men and women who've been screwed over by the system, because the Alabama court system, as far as domestic relations, they're a cabal. It's a cabal, a scam, a joke, a favor bag, whatever you want to call it. It's a scam, and they have to be broken up. But that's a side point. I've been in it. I think in the county I was in, it was smaller than this one. And I think the room was bigger than this for the judge. It was so small, the judge didn't even use it. So I'm shocked he's even in there. I mean, that's small. I mean, it's, like Jefferson County, Alabama, Birmingham, I clerked there for a circuit judge. And he had, it was like 5 times that size. He had a bathroom and shower and, it just depends on the size of the courthouse. But I just wanted to comment that that's pretty small. It's pretty freaking small.
Judge Mullins' case is a mystery, which means that
and why was a camera in his court in his chambers? That's normally not something you would record ever, even if there's no audio. Just don't do it. It's just not a thing. So.
2 men's long shared history has been under the microscope. And tonight, a gut punch of an exclusive to tell you about. It turns out there are recordings about the dead judge that tie him to some very dirty business in that county. A sex for favors scandal that sent a former deputy to jail and got the sheriff, who's now facing murder, sued in federal court. News Nation investigative producer Allison Weiner uncovered these recordings, and she joins me live now. You're such a great producer. I mean, we send you out to dig this stuff up, and then I have to have you on television to report it. What kind of a reporting are we talking about, Allison?
Well, these are recordings from the criminal investigation into Deputy Fields, the guy that went to prison for the sex for favor scandal. And Deputy Fields was convicted of rape 3, of sodomy, and also a perjury. So the recordings are from his victim. And she subsequently has filed the civil rights lawsuit in federal court. The victim is Sabrina Atkins, and she was interviewed by police about what had happened to her when...
You got to remember this. you're not, you might be thinking, well, what if she consented? And blah, blah, blah. No. Think of a prisoner as a child. They have no capacity. They are in prison. The state owns them, essentially. I mean, not literally, but I mean, that's as close as you're going to get. So they have no capacity to consent to anything like that. Even if they did consent and said, oh, yeah, baby, come on, let's get it on. Ooh, you know, I haven't had it in 5 years. It's rape. It's rape. If it's a man on a woman, it's rape. I didn't mean to say that. Oh, I hope Google doesn't hit me. God, I bet YouTube nails this video. Anyway, it's grape ape. It's that. Yeah. And if it's not, you know, on the other flip side, if it would be female guard, male prisoner, then you get into, what's the word? How do I, I don't know another word to use. Oh, yeah. Sodom and Gomorrah. The first, not the last. Not the last. So you get into Sodom and Gomorrah. So because a male can't be raped because they lack the reproductive organs per statute. The statutes usually state it very bluntly in the statute. Go read the statute. Your state probably has the same thing. So if in case you're wondering, why in the hell are they even charging this guy with this brutalization if she consented? That's why. She can't. It's first degree. That's it. You can maybe argue statutory, but statutory usually applies only to under age of consent. So there you go.
She was an inmate in Fletcher County in Whitesburg. And that's where Sheriff Stines was working and also where Ben Fields was working.
And Whitesburg is a tiny area. Just FYI, I don't know if you've looked it up. It's small. Nice area, but it's I think it's over in the Appalachians part of Kentucky.
And these recordings, I was listening to them and I just sort of stopped and was like, I'm beginning to see that Sheriff Stines' life was coming apart, like sort of one thing, one block at a time. And this was not a good thing that I was listening to. And let's take a listen to it and then we can talk about it.
But he does have some videotapes of some stuff in the judge's chambers.
What kind of stuff?
Just with girls' sexual and stuff.
Oh my God.
What describe? Have you seen the video?
I've seen one partly.
Oh my God. What?
Having sex with girls for the able to get out of jail.
Who was having sex?
Ben and just some higher ups.
What?
There.
Oh my God. Dude, what? I bet you money. I guarantee you. You watch. It's going to come out. Stines Judge's daughter is on his phone and shouldn't have been. And she's been. Yeah. That would do it. I don't know if. Yeah, here he is already involved in a federal suit and all this crap. He's looking at losing his office and potentially jail or whatever other civil penalties. For something he really, although he had oversight, it is his fault at the end. You know, it's not his fault, but it is. Man, you see your kid on the judge's phone? Oh my God. In Kentucky, they have something called extreme emotional distress. And you can, let me see here. Let me see if I can't pull it up. Give me 1 second. I'll read the statute to you. Please forgive me. Okay. In Kentucky, no, I don't want to update. Stop. All right. In Kentucky, extreme emotional disturbance is a legal concept that can mitigate charges certain assault cases. Revised statute 508.040, which I've pled several people to. A defendant accused of intentionally causing physical or serious physical injury may argue they acted under the influence of EED, as defined in KRS, Kentucky Revised Statute 507.0201A. If it's established, this defense can reduce the severity of the charge to usually the assault. Yeah, first degree assault, fourth degree, or it could even drop the murder charge down into the manslaughter range. Let's see. If you want, if it's important to note that EED doesn't absolve the defendant in any way or lessen the charge's gravity. The burden of proof lies with the defense to demonstrate that the defendant was under extreme emotional disturbance at the time of the offense. That is correct. For more information, go to KRS 508.040. Hang on. I'm going to look and see. Y'all can also apply to murder under 507.0201A. Subjective standard evaluates whether the defendant was actually under extreme emotional disturbance at the time of the crime. Objective standard examines whether an ordinary person in the same situation might have acted irrationally. If it's his kid on the phone, especially if it's sexual, oh my God. I mean, I don't know many daddies that wouldn't freaking, at the very least, have used his fist. I mean, just unbelievable. But yeah, apparently it's looking like it. Impact on the murder charges. Reduction to manslaughter in the first degree. Okay. If the defendant can show they acted under EED, the charge of murder may be mitigated to manslaughter in the first, which is still a serious offense but lesser penalties. EED must be supported by evidence of a triggering event or provocation. Okay, so yeah, we have that. We have the fact that there's this sexual crap going on in the judge's chambers. It's got the sheriff involved. He wasn't directly, but it's got his deputy. And so now he's in court. The judge is involved, and now he's got his kid. You've satisfied step one. There's no strict definition of what constitutes sufficient provocation. I still say he's got it there too. He's good. And there's no cooling off period. No, there was no cooling off period. It was just boom, boom, done. So, yeah. They'll get a psychological review, etc. He'll be going through some, it's going to take a while. This isn't going to be short. So I just wanted to go over that EED. So, oh God, it sounds like it's a commercial for what is it, sildenafil or something. Some men, are you having problems late at night? Use EED. All right, let's see. Here we go. Let me go back to the. Yeah, can you get it? There.
Who?
The judge and
You saw the video.
yeah.
What did you see on the video? I mean,
I've seen Judge Long have sex with a girl.
who was the girl?
I don't know. Because I don't know a lot of people from over
Where was it at?
in his office, in the judge's chambers.
Is that the same place that you were meeting Ben? Is that how you know it was a judge in chambers? And this was Judge who?
Moments.
Allison, wow, that's pretty clear. That's her saying Judge Mullins was having sex with these people in his chambers, just like the other deputy. Here's the question.
I mean, he looks like a creepo. I'm just going to be honest. I mean, the guy looks... Well, I mean, a lot of judges look like a dork or whatever, nerd, because they usually are, they can't succeed in the real world of legal, the real legal world, being a lawyer, etc. So they run for judge, get elected, and boom, they're in. They don't leave until they can retire out. And if you're in Alabama, you're really lucky because you only need 3 terms to retire, which is 12 years. Freaking awesome. So that's what most people will do. Unless they're making very good salaries, they will do their 3 terms and move right along to retirement and then work again. Hey, if they get lucky and get elected as judge at, I don't know, 30, hell, by 42, 43, they're out. Man, they still got another 20, 30 years of practice. and they get a pension. So this is insane, though. I thought this was going to happen, but I thought it was going to be that the judge was having just relations with his daughter, who I think is old enough. I think she's grown, but I could be wrong. But that's what my thought was. I didn't think it would go this route, because they've already prosecuted a sheriff's deputy of Sheriff Stines. So this isn't going good for the state. It's not good for him either. I mean, he's going to prison. It's just a matter of whether is it 85% of 15 or 20 years, or does he get 85% of, I don't know, 25 to life, something like that.
I have, because it seemed to me that it became an open secret among female inmates that you can sleep your way out of jail.
Guys, please, God, please, I'm begging you. Look how creepy this dude looks. Creepy. Look, if you get in trouble, I used to tell clients, if you get in trouble and you got a bad jailer, you got a bad deputy, and you know it, don't go to the deputy. Don't go above their head. Whatever the course is, the set of hierarchy, go to the top. If you got to get a kite to a letter or the sheriff, get it to him. Get it to your attorney. Let the attorney go to the sheriff. I had several times where that happened, where a guy knew they were smuggling in contraband. He didn't want to get busted for it. He wanted to go home. And so he gave me the info, and I was told to go to the sheriff. And, he got out. He served his time, and he got out. He didn't get blamed. Everybody else got the charge because they had all been involved in it, but him. So please, 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 please don't think you have to do this. I'm begging you, women and men, don't do this. Don't do it. Either just do your time. Don't try to scam anything or anybody. Don't take drugs. Don't take stuff in. Just do your time. And if something happens, go to the top. Go call your lawyer. If you don't have a lawyer, get somebody to hire one to be the liaison, to go to the sheriff. If they're the one that's doing it, they can go above them to the state law enforcement agencies. There is a way. Sorry, there is a way to handle that, and you can get it done. Okay, please, God, don't do this. I'm begging you.
Because these men and these higher ups, not the ones necessarily on the screen, this is an allegation only, will have sex for these release favors.
That's correct. And by the way, the Sheriff Stines, denied during his deposition, which was a couple of days before the murder, that he had he had any idea that any of this was going on. But the fact is that the plaintiff in the lawsuit, again, Sabrina Atkins, said that she had heard rumors and that you could exchange sex for not having to wear your ankle bracelet. She didn't say that specifically, but for some favors. And that's exactly what ended up happening, because she couldn't afford to pay for the ankle bracelet. You have to pay for the ankle bracelet weekly. And those are the allegations in the civil lawsuit that Sheriff.
That's another thing. They charge like $150 a month. I'm not even kidding. Sometimes per week. I've seen it as high as that per week. 400 something bucks a month. And just so somebody can sit behind a computer and go, oh, I've got an alarm. John Doe's been outside his zone of he's supposed to be in. Well, I'll go and call the sheriff. Hello, sheriff. Yes, John Doe has been outside his range. Yes, it was 12 hours ago. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's what they're freaking paying for. So yeah, it provides you an ability, unless they cut the monitor, of seeing where they're going. But people think that it's somehow like I don't know, like a government grade GPS, and it's not. It's just not. But yeah, I mean, it's sad because most people can't afford it. They cannot afford the house arrest with that leg monitor. So it's not fair, but it's the truth. And in Kentucky, I hate to tell you this, you get charged Best Western rates per night in jail. Yes, you too can stay at your local county Best Western in Kentucky, $39.95 per night. And yes, before you release yourself from jail, you will sign a contract that says, I'll pay it back. I'm not freaking kidding. It's not just fines and court costs. They also want the freaking jail cost. So what if you're in for, let's say, 180 days? Well, 180 days times $39.95. It's absurd. It's unconstitutional. You can't do that to people. You can't charge guy A, who, does have money, that fee, and then not the indigent. No, this is what they do. This is Kentucky. They don't care. They don't care.
Stein should have known or knew about what was happening with Ben Fields. And Sheriff Stine is the big name in that lawsuit. It's Sheriff Stine and unknown superiors and Ben Fields. So he was facing some heavy damages and the loss of his entire career based on this civil rights lawsuit. And frankly, the plaintiff's lawyers told me, Ned Pillersdorf has told me several times, because it's like they were running a brothel out of that courtroom.
Unbelievable. Well, I feel like it's just the tip of the iceberg because there's still a lot more to connect Stines allegedly murdering the judge based on what the judge maybe would have said to bring Stines more into this picture. So you're invited back, anytime, just knock on the door and you're on. Allison Weiner, great. Thanks for.
And I mean, look, maybe the sheriff was involved. Maybe he was trying to close. I don't know how you close up a loophole in a criminal organization of sex trafficking stuff. Don't ask me. I don't know. Because he's going to get obviously caught. I can think, even if he lost everything and went to jail, and I'm trying to think of the worst thing. Let's say he got, 20 years. That's still less, because you don't have to serve 85% of a 20-year sentence on something like, as long as it's not a sexual offense. I don't see where the murder shortens that. I mean, I guess I could see if he was going to rat on him for the murder of someone else that caused a death sentence. Maybe. But again, doesn't make sense. But criminals don't do things that make sense anyway. So my guess is he got in the room. He knew all of this, wanted to confront him, and saw either video or something on the phone that shouldn't have been there of his daughter. And so that's it. I'm done. You're a piece of shit, and I'm going to kill you. And he just pulled his gun and shot him. That's my guess. That's my guess. And he's going to plead extreme emotional disturbance. I assure you, he will plead it. Not all states have it. It's usually, I think most people are more commonly understand it as, in the heat of passion. You walk in on your wife, maybe your wife or husband is in bed. You come home early from work and they're in bed and they're, doing a little, thing with someone else. And then you have a gun on you. Before you even think about it, you just pull and boom, boom, boom. That would be a manslaughter charge because of the heat of the moment. Passion was so high, but you're going to prison. So the dude's going to prison. I mean, it's his life's over, but maybe he saved a ton of women from sex crimes. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine what these women have been going through. And this stuff happens. This isn't, have I ever had it happen with me or my clients? No, I've had other issues, but I do hear of it. You hear rumors. You hear all kinds of stuff. People get fired for doing certain things they shouldn't do. In fact, look, there was a couple years ago, the deputy sheriff in Lauderdale County, Alabama, in Florence, that her last day of work after she was retiring, she smuggled a prisoner out of the jail and ran through Tennessee into Kentucky and ended up, gun accidentally going off and shooting her in the back of the head during the accident when they pitted her in Evansville, Indiana. You know, these things happen, you know. So, and those two apparently had a very long relationship while he was in jail. And that dude was looking at, I think, a capital murder charge already in Alabama for probably a death sentence. So anyway, these things do happen. I just want to give an update. I thought this would be a cool one to do. It sucks. I'm sorry I've taken 25 minutes. This was not my intention. I am so sick. I'm going back to bed. Okay. Thank y'all. See you later. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell me that you think I suck or that I'm great. I don't care. It's okay. It'll help the algorithm. And y'all have a good day, please. Until next time. We'll see y'all later.